The Bears have a new punt returner, and it's not Velus Jones, but kinda. We'll explain. It's Sports Talk Chicago. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago sports and Chicago Bears content. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago, and hit up our sponsor, Amish Country Farms in Orland Park. I was kind of pissed off when I read this story. I kind of didn't really get it, so I want to talk about it here. Now, we all heard, which is a good thing, the Bears have brought in a different punt returner. It won't be Velus Jones. It's going to be Trent Taylor, who came from Cincinnati via waivers. The Bears have brought him in. Has done a lot with receiving and rushing, more so, but he has returned punts and kicks. Last year, returned 33 for 340 yards on the punt return side. 2 kicks for 15 on the kick return side. But the point is, he's a punt returner. Dedicated punt returner. Last year, 33 returns for 340 yards. That's not bad at all. That's certainly better than what Velus Jones could have ever done. So I'm very happy about this news. But here's what I don't like, and here's why I said to open up this video, that Trent Taylor is the new guy, kinda. Here's what Ryan Poles had to say about the move and about the future of Velus Jones, who, by the way, made the team. We called for him to be cut a few weeks ago, and he should have been cut. But for some reason, I guess mediocrity gets rewarded. And I just praised Ryan Poles, and I know I just did, about the idea of rewarding people for talent. He did that with Tyson Bagent and P.J. Walker. Poles picked the right guy. Tyson Bagent is the better player, therefore he deserves to stay. Great move. This is patronage and favoritism, and it makes sense because this is Ryan Poles' first real draft pick. He doesn't want to admit that he made the wrong decision. But as we talked about last week here, I am not going to fault Ryan Poles for the bad pick of Velus Jones Jr. Here's why. The draft that Ryan Poles participated in was 4 months after he got hired. He had no first-round pick. Ryan Pace had that team completely decimated. They were so far over the cap. They cut all these players, had tons of dead cap money. They were going to be tanking. I can't, in my good conscience, blame Ryan Poles for this pick. I don't blame him at all. And if they cut him, I would praise him. I'm not going to say, oh, Ryan Poles screwed up. No. Hey, tough situation. You're coming out of the blue, and this is your pick. You thought it would hit. It was a complete miss. Let's move on. Let's let it go. But no. He's choosing the route of favoritism over the route of talent. So I want to get to this quote. Here's the article from NBC Sports Chicago. Poles made sure to say that just because they're taking Jones Jr. off punt returns now, they're not going to give him an opportunity to win the job again sometime down the road. So he said this quote, okay? We got to get Velus comfortable in that position. We're going to continue to work on those guys and get them experience and try to get that confidence back that he had in college and before. You got to work through it, and he's had some weird looks too, so we still believe in him. So this kind of scares me a little bit, okay? Because technically, based on this quote, anything is possible. Now, I don't know if Velus Jones is truly going to come back or truly going to be the punt returner ever again, but the fact that the door was left open makes absolutely no sense to me. Why does Velus Jones deserve preferential treatment when he has sucked something over a year and a half now? And I say something, I'd say something else, but we're on broadcast TV, but I just can't take it. Okay? Velus Jones Jr. has no business being on this team. My goodness. Single-handedly blows 2 games last year, muffed another punt. I couldn't even believe it when I saw it. And he's still on this team. And Ryan Poles says, the door might be open. Give me a break. He can't return punts. The only thing he could do, the only reason that he's probably still here to an extent, is to be a nice end-around decoy in the backfield / wide receiver. Wide receiver, running back hybrid, that's it. Because he has no other skills for this team. He doesn't block, doesn't get enough looks to be a good quality wide receiver, can't even catch a freaking punt. What's he doing here? My goodness. This was a cut that needed to happen. This needed to happen. And I'm very, very disappointed that they kept him around. And I get it to an extent. I understand what Ryan Poles' thought process is. You drafted him at your first pick. You don't want to admit you're wrong. I understand, and I get it. Again, first pick, new GM, early on. You don't want to cut him and say, I was dead wrong on this. But actually, I'd be okay with it. I promise you, Ryan Poles, I will not slam you or make fun of you for admitting mistake here, for admitting, hey, I was wrong on this here. I won't even do it because you know what? The situation that you inherited was horrendous. Nobody wanted this situation. You came in and cleaned it up in a year and a half. That's a props to you. So I'm not mad at you, and I will not make fun of you if you just cut Velus and say, you know what? I made a mistake. Tough situation to begin with. Let's move on and win football games. But no, you kept him. Why? Why is he staying? I don't know why he's here. I'm happy for Trent Taylor. I think this is a good move. Taylor, again, 33 returns, 340 yards, a dedicated, legitimate punt returner. He had 6 catches last year. Not much. Also ran for 15 yards. I mean, he's going to be mainly used as a punt returner only. You know what? I'm fine with that. Devin Hester in the beginning was a punt/kick returner only. That worked out well. I have no issue with somebody taking up a whole roster spot just to be a return guy. That's okay with me. I actually would prefer that. Keep them focused on catching the football, returning the punt 15, 20 yards, setting up your team for field position. There's value in being specifically a kick returner, punt returner. 100%. So that's great. So they brought in a legitimate punt returner. That's pretty much the only thing he can do, and that's perfectly fine with me. My issue is, why keep the guy on the team who lost the job and really has nowhere to go? I mean, I would almost rather say and keep and use EQ St. Brown over Velus Jones. EQ St. Brown can block at least, and he has more experience than Velus, and he caught 100-plus, 200-plus yards last year. I mean, EQ is going to be your 4th or 5th wide receiver. When is Velus going to get any time to play? And when he does get on the field, will anybody target him? The answer is no. Velus, if he gets on the field on offense, is going to be a 5th wide receiver or coming in as a decoy to do an end around. Or maybe a flip pass and then run, whatever it is, a screen. But that's it. Why keep somebody around who's doing that only? Why keep somebody around for that specific purpose? That's ultra hyper specific. Now we're digging into the weeds to find a way to keep him around. Being a kick returner, punt returner, that's specific. And you could make the argument, hey, you need to do multiple things. If you're going to be just a return man, it won't work. But this is hyper specific. Hey, I only want Velus Jones in when we need 5 out or 5 set, 5 receivers, and maybe if we do an end around and that's about it. He'll never see the field. He'll see the field once or twice a game. Why is he on this team? Oh, my goodness. You know what was comical? And really, I didn't believe it till I saw it. I didn't watch the game live. I had to rewatch the game, the first preseason game. When I heard about it, I just laughed that he muffed the punt. I couldn't believe it. I was so beside myself. First of all, the fact that he was still being put out there. Secondly, that he muffed it. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. He is that bad. It's true. He's that bad. He can't return punts. And if you bring him in as a punt returner, and that's the specific reason he was brought to this team, then guess what? He shouldn't be here anymore. Send him somewhere low leverage. Maybe he could learn his crap, go back to the USFL maybe. I mean, go somewhere else. This is a winning team, winning organization, playing meaningful football this year. We can't be having dumb mistakes. It was funny and hilarious and whatever last year because they were tanking anyway, so really Velus helped the situation by purposefully losing games. But now, not going to fly. I know it was funny. I know, Velus Jones, what a joke. But you know what? This is serious now. This team's going to be good. We're past the point of, they're going to go 3-14, worst team in football, clickbait. We're past all that. This team is poised, minimum wild card spot. They're poised for a playoff run this year. And they can't be having people like Velus screwing it all up. I saw somebody comment a couple of weeks ago saying, Velus didn't blow those games. Heck yes, he did. He was part of it. Now, you could say, the offense should have adjusted. Well, you know what? It's pretty hard to adjust when the ball's being punted to you You're in the lead, fourth quarter, one possession game. You muff the punt. The kicking team recovers it, and they're inside the 20-yard line ready to score. So, yes, Velus Jones did blow those games. He did screw it up. And now he's going to stay on this team and be rewarded for mediocrity. This one is the ultimate head scratcher. Ultimate head scratcher. And I just gave Ryan Poles praise, so don't come after me saying I'm looking for something negative. You got to agree with me on this. Why is Velus Jones even here? Like, what function does he serve for this team? If you could find something and I'm missing something, by all means, comment and let me know. By all means, let me know what I'm missing, what I'm not seeing. But this one makes no sense. Ryan Poles made the right decisions during this cut process with pretty much everybody. I mean, the P.J. Walker one, how about a great job by Poles maturity-wise to say, you know what, we're going to give up the $2 million. We don't care. We want the better player. Why couldn't you just do this here too? And I get he's not going to be the punt returner. He won't be the guy. But you know what? Even though he won't be the guy, he's still here. And the question becomes, what's he going to be used for? And there's really no answer. Nobody's said. Nobody's come out and said, oh, you know, hey, we're going to use him as a wide receiver. He'll get some reps. Or, no, instead, there's just an open door that maybe one day Velus could reclaim the punt return spot. I don't care if Velus claims that he improves and he's gotten better. It's going to take a long time to regain anybody's trust, whether it's mine, yours, anybody in the organization, because he's known as a muffer. That's what he's known as. Get in the preseason last year, preseason this year, blew a couple of games last season. I mean, this is his MO. It's like when the Browns gave Cody Parkey a contract after the double doink. What are you doing? Why would you do that? And sure enough, he was cut same year. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. There is an MO. There is a reputation here. You have to earn your stripes and prove that this is not who you are. And the best way or place to do it is not on this team. Do it on a tanking team. Do it on a team that's going to suck. Arizona, Los Angeles Rams. I mean, those teams are going to be horrible. Go there, baby. I mean, go somewhere where the stakes are so low that you can actually get work in, not be worried or stressed or have a high level of tension, and do your best. Or go to the USFL, go to the XFL, go somewhere else. But you cannot be on a contending team making these dumb, immature mistakes. This team's going to be good for once. They're actually going to win. You can't be having people like Velus around screwing things up. Don't like this move. Don't agree with it. I agree with Brian Poles on 48 to 49 out of the other 50 moves or 53 moves he made. But this is one that I staunchly disagree with, and I had to make a video to talk about it. Thanks for watching today's show here on Sports Talk Chicago. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago Bears and Chicago sports content. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago. Big thank you to John Meadows, directing and producing. How about our sponsor, Amish Country Farms? Link, by the way, is in the description. So long, everyone.